April 5th, 2020, Sunday, 8:45 a.m. Last night I was binge watching Eons, PBS Eons. You should watch their stuff. It's good, man, real good. I want to watch all of their videos. It's ancient history stuff with the animals. It's awesome. Plugs right into my timeline, so it's right up my alley. And anyway, yesterday I was listening to. I think I was doing my book for a little bit yesterday. The speeches of the Greeks and Romans. But then I went back to music. Yesterday when I got up kind of late because I guess I was tired. And then I started swimming on my egg. I was going to do 10K on the egg and then ride the bike. But I do 1 kilometer on level 7, 1 kilometer on level 6 as it gets easier. I made it down to 4, so I did 4 kilometers yesterday. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, but I wrote 4. Oh, shit. I just uploaded on my Strava. It was 4,250 meters is what I did. But then all of a sudden I thought to myself, this is a little bit boring. There's one thing that I really want to do, and that's add a counter to my website. I'm having a website relapse. I got out of website relapse a couple days ago, but then yesterday I got back into it. Because I think night before last is when I started. I did just through the night until 1 a.m. The afternoon of the night, I did books. I did books, counting, and it took a lot because a lot of those books take forever to load. And finally did the books. There's lots of them. There's like hundreds of them. And then I went and did timeline. But I didn't finish timeline because the timeline pages are big too. So they take forever. And then, sometimes you accidentally open up too many pages. So then you have to quit the program and start it up again. And I'm still working on the BCs. I started on BCs, then I go to 80s. 80s are the big ones, which is going to crash my computer forever. But I was working until about the morning, and I got really tired. And I'm not really tired. I got tired enough where I knew that if I lied down, I would sleep just fine. I wouldn't have insomnia problems. So that's what I did. Didn't have no insomnia problems. Then I slept this morning until like now. Yeah, I'm hooked on it. I think what I want to do is I'm going to start the day watching Eons, PBS Eons, and the animal videos. While I do hits. I'm doing hits, views for the page views, but also visitor views. And I find just little niches in the pages on the top to put them. Super important to me to put that there. I was listening every once in a while. I was looking at Google Analytics. I haven't made a single penny with my website because I keep putting the code there, but I don't know if I'm putting the code wrong or if they're deliberately demonetizing me. I think they're deliberately demonetizing me because they did that with my YouTube years ago. And now my videos are limited to 10 minutes on my workout pages, but whatever. But I don't really care that I'm not making money with my website because I don't really want people to look at my website anyway because there's just too many goddamn broken links and not enough explanations. I found a bunch of fucking broken links on my timeline. I could not fucking believe it because every time I go to my timeline, there's broken links everywhere. This time it was instead of Central America, it was called Central America and Caribbean because I used to have those as two, but that was like 10 fucking years ago. And I remember switching the link like half dozen times. I've done this a gazillion times. And it's a batch edit. It doesn't take that long. It's just to switch it from Caribbean and Central American and Caribbean to Central America so that the links works. And I just had to, but every single one was like that. Every one in the BC. So I had to just batch edit all of them. And it's like, Didn't I already batch edit this dozens of times? I could have sworn I did. And then I do the test, and it passes the test, and all the links work, and everything's good. And then you take a year off, and you go back to the website. It's all back to normal. All the links are broken. I don't believe it. I don't understand how it works out that way. I think it has to do with interdimensional skipping. Like, I've seriously considered that, because I look at my website. There's other weird things that go on with my website apart from fixing things multiple times over and over again, but other things. For example, with the books, there are different versions of books. There's versions where, that are totally different. There's versions that have just different numbers of chapters and different page counts. Oh, that's the thing. The page counts are always different. And it's just like, if you go forward in time, you're also skipping between parallel universes where the rules are different. That's what it seems like to me. So anyways, there were some other things too with my website, but I can't remember, but it was just unbelievable. Anyway, I'm gonna I'm gonna continue to put all of the counter on my site. I think I'm almost done with the BCs. I'm at 45 to 4, and it only goes up back to 5, or I don't know what it is now. I did some modifications. It goes to 10, but that's with worldly. It only goes to 5 with the UN regions. But yeah, I'm gonna do the timeline and BCs, and then I'm gonna do ancient BC timeline, and then AD timeline, and future timeline. Maybe I can do all that today. And then the website, I don't know how long that'll take, but I want to get that over with, because I kind of want to get all the counting started at the same time so that it's all scientific, even though nobody goes to my website anyway. That wouldn't matter. But yeah, there's a lot less. Like, Google Analytics, it doesn't make any sense. Google Analytics, whenever I look at the right now feature, 5 times more Indians, but whenever I look at the accumulated, 5 times more Americans. That's like asking your friend John what 5 plus 5 is, and him telling you that it's... No, that's like asking your friend John how many people live in the apartment, and he tells you that it's 50 people, but then you ask Jimmy, and Jimmy tells you that it's 500 people. And that's just how it is. It doesn't make any sense. So then I get my own counter on there. It turns out nobody's on my website. Over the last week, only 3 people have been to my education page, besides 2 people besides me. So it's pretty much totally not visited. So where is Google Analytics getting all these people? And also it changes. Like, it was, because I look at it a lot just for a little bit, just to look at the numbers. It was showing 300 people at any given moment on my website, all from India. But now all of a sudden, like that, it's 20 people at any given website, at any given moment, all from India. Yet when you go to the right now and you look at it, it said there were 20 people total on my website last night, but there were 220 people on my website at that very moment in Chennai, in some little town in southern India that I never heard of. So, yeah, man, I honestly think that the people at Google and stuff, they tweak it, because people have a long history doing that stuff. It always comes to light. Oh, that person they were cheating. But I remember randomly saw this YouTube video last year. This dude did a video going, hey, dude, these YouTube people, they tweak it. And I was like, really? So I watched it. And there's some black girl, a 20-year-old black girl, uploaded one video. She had one video, and it had been uploaded 3 days beforehand. And I guess her deal was she was living in her van, and she had this old VW van from the 70s that was painted like it was brand new, all these different colors. And she was like, hey, look, I'm living in my van. It was like a 2-minute long video. And then she had one of those drones fly and show her van under her as she's parked next to a cliff on the ocean side. And bitch had 1 million subscribers. So, you know what I mean? Anyway, I don't care. I'm just saying, it's just weird. I'm super hooked on getting these counter up, because Seems to me like the first thing. Oh shit! Just surpassed 10 minutes. Seems to me like the first thing you'd want to do on the website is add a counter, and I've had my counter for like decades and decades, and but I'm glad it took me this long to do the counter because if I'd have done the counter before, I wouldn't know what the hits on my website are because they don't have counter features for like from a certain date. They should, but so I would know more because now my website's closer to being done, so it's better to put the counter later. But also, I don't think before they had the feature where you could have visitor count, and I like having visitor count, so I'm just doing it all at the same time. Hit count and visitor count. But anyway, I'm super hooked on it. I just want to get the counter up there because there's so many different things I want to do on my website that I can't even get around to starting until I finish this other thing, the counter, which might take all goddamn day. The next thing I want to do with my website is connect. Well, I have to finish putting the books that I already put on there. I have to finish them from the Enlightenment and maybe a couple more really important ones. But I want to connect the quotes from all the books because these dudes talk to each other, right? So one of these dudes to be able to reference each other whenever says Plato says so, bing, takes you right there to Plato. Like I'm the only person in the world who's capable of doing that because I'm the only person out of any website on the entire planet with the exception of Archive. But Archive is just copy paste text. It's not even readable what they do because they have all these other codes and crap in there that you can't even have it read to you. So I'm the only person in the whole world who has the entire book on one page. So you can do a Control F, Control Find the word. I can do that with all of my books, so I can find whatever, dude. And I know how to search too. I know the different phrases you can lose and use and stuff because it's never the same phrase because translators, they use different words and stuff. There's different versions, but anyways, so that's what I'm gonna do. Yesterday I felt fine. I mean, I could have done the regular day yesterday. My arms, I guess, are a little bit sore, so I definitely could have taken a day off on my I guess my upper body for the swimming, but my legs are 100% fresh. Like I really need to get some exercise. Plus I feel like shit like I did before. Like you feel toxic inside and sick inside. No strength or limbarity or coordination. Like I can barely get out of bed because I don't have the strength in my legs to stand up. And my balance is fucked, so I fall down. I almost fall down every time I get up. Like that's how much of a wreck I am. And it's not because I'm old. It's because it's been forever. Well, obviously, it's a combination. It's been forever since I've exercised. So my mom wanted to go on a bike ride with me today, so I might call her to go on a bike ride just to tear myself away from my site because I think I might be stuck on there like crack today. Just getting these counters. I just want to get the counter up. But we'll see. All right, enough talking. Talk to you tomorrow.